Actually, if that's the case, then went Shion too. No, this is a bigger problem. Talking about it in the first place, I've been indiscreet. I shouldn't have been interested in it at all. But that's why I really had to think about it. About why everyone got so irritated. Idiot. Stop this, Keiichi Maebara. By the time I tried to warn myself, I had accidentally spoken already.
もう二度と聞かないからさ、正直なところを教えてくれないか。一体、サトシに何があったんだ。家で、なんだろう。
For a long time, Nyon remained silent. But finally, unable to endure it any longer, she began to speak timidly.
お社様のたたりの話は聞いたことある？
ほんの少しくらいなら。
I got the gist of it. I only ever heard someone in class talking about it though. Oyashiro-sama was the name of the deity protecting Hinamizawa, that they worship at the shrine we had the barbecue at today. And a few years ago, when they started talking about flooding Hinamizawa as part of the dam project, one of the people who worked on the site died or something, and people blame it on Oyashiro-sama's curse. And that's how it was.
サトシの死んだ親ってのがさ、ダムの誘致派でね。
え？ひなみ沢の人って村中でダムに反対してたんじゃないのか？村人なのにダムの賛成派もいたのか？
The dam project that would flood the entirety of Hinamizawa. I'd heard the village all got together to fight the terrible project, but it was a little hard to believe there were villagers who were supporting it.
まあ、いろいろと事情もあってね。ダム計画に反対する人ばかりでもなかったんだけどさ。
And some of those supporters, from what I remember, were the Hojos.
で、その親ってのが誘致派のリーダー格だったんだよ。
誘致派のリーダー格。つまり、サトコとサトシの親がってことだよな。
For what reason? I don't know.
うん。国はダム工事に伴って多額の保証金を用意してたからね。そのお金が欲しくてダム計画に賛成してた人たちも結構いたんだよ。
Aside from a few households, Hinamizawa was, in general, not very affluent. And not because they were proud to inherit the land of their ancestors. It wouldn't be strange if some people wanted enough money to start a new life. But even in that case, they would have to hesitate to say so, given the situation. It just happened to be Satoko and Satoshi's parents who understood that and stood up to their representative. By that standard, you might say Satoko and Satoshi's parents were very heroic. They volunteered to be hated, all to help those without much money who didn't have a voice.
それで運悪くその両親がさ、お社様を祀るお祭りの日に事故死しちゃったんだよね。それでお社様のたたりにあったんじゃないかってことになっちゃったわけ。
I thought back to what Coach told me today. They went to a nature park on a family outing and fell from a cliff.
で、サトシが家出したのまでお社様のたたりってことにされちまったわけか。
まあ、うん、そんな感じ。
It was a bit of an evasive reply, but I felt it was wrong to ask any further, so I didn't press her for details.
もう説明するまでもないと思うけどさ、サトコにとっては両親の事故もサトシの家出も、そしてお社様のたたりなんて話も愉快な話じゃないのはわかるでしょ。
Yeah, of course I knew. I could only nod silently.
だからさ、私たちはサトコの家族の話には触れないことにしてる。サトシのことは仮に聞かれても転校したってごまかすことにしてる。その辺の事情を汲み取ってもらえるよね。
They wanted to protect Satoko's happiness, her smile. Yeah, I did say that Mion is gonna talk about Satoshi and the idea of transferring Oyashiro's curse. I didn't expect that she's actually gonna talk about her, Satoko's parents, though. But, I guess in this context, it makes sense so that we wouldn't talk about it in front of Satoko. But in that case, shouldn't be something that was supposed to be talked about in the first chapter without any worries whatsoever. I'm just, Because I did mention it from the first chapter as well, that, hey, Keiichi is part of Hinamizawa right now. He should know about this stuff just as much as everybody else, about the history of what happened around here, so I didn't understand in some aspects why all the secrecy, unless there's something more to it, which is something that we're going to investigate throughout the entirety of Higurashi. But when it comes to this sort of stuff, it feels like something that Keiichi needed to hear, so that, for example, we wouldn't get to hurt Satoko by saying something stupid that Keiichi was not even aware of. Stuff like this, is important. So it is interesting that now Mion is being understanding and is telling Keiichi about all this so that we wouldn't fuck it up. But before though, And I guess in that aspect, can you also tell us about Rika's parents and what happened with the priest as well? Because in that sense, Satoko and Rika's situations, they are pretty similar, So I don't see it as that much of a big deal to tell us about Rika's parents as well. And also, I guess that's pretty much it. I doubt that Mion would be happy to talk about her past when it comes to the dam project and all that. I don't think that she would feel comfortable talking about her own past, since at this point it's not as relevant as it's not relevant to the whole Satoshi running away thing. So it's not something that she needs talking about. If Keiichi were to push Mion for her to talk about her side of the story when it comes to Oyashiro's curse, and Shion as well and all that, that's when the demon is gonna come. As someone who fought that way once, even for a short time, I really did regret having been imprudent enough to approach the topic to begin with. It's kind of like, if you are to think of a completely different scenario that I'm thinking of right now, let's say that it was chapter 2, and the whole focus of that chapter is Shion and Mion. They would surely not talk about their past, because you're gonna get killed otherwise. But someone like, say, Satoko or Rika would surely talk about Mion and Shion's past, so that we wouldn't fuck it up if we were to say something bad in front of Mion or Shion. Satoko and Rika would surely help us so that we wouldn't deal with problems and such. It's kind of a reversed thing to what is going on right over here.
ああ、わかるよ。俺も軽はずみなことを聞いたと後悔してる。
Actually, wasn't that something that Rika did in chapter 3 before she disappeared? I mean, I think that's the main reason why she was talking about the cat that got into the shrine, into the building with the tools and such. When she heard that, Mion smiled, seeming a little relieved. Without understanding, thinking that I should get going, I began to make my way home. I could really have stopped by Mion's house, but it was already late. I'll stop by again the next time I had the chance.
じゃあな、ミオン。今日は悪かったな。また明日な。
The thing is, though, it could spark even more chaos in similar fashion to chapter 2, where the characters focused on are Shion and Mion, and those who we asked and got help from are Rika and Satoko, who have disappeared. Here, since we're getting all this information from Mion, there's even more chances that Mion is gonna be a victim. Could be possible.
じゃあね。
Alright, well, bye, Mion. We waved to each other. Then, suddenly remembering something, Mion called out to me.
ケイちゃん、あとさ、サトコにだけじゃなく、レナの前でも、サトシの話は慎んでくれるかな。
え？
さっきので分かったと思うけどさ、レナって、どういうわけか、お社様のたたりの話だけは、笑い事で済まないんだよ。転校してきた時から。
Yeah, judging by how Rena was acting earlier, it was clearly no laughing matter to her. Mion had interrupted the conversation for us. But if Mion hadn't been here, what might have happened?
どうしてレナはあんなにマジになるんだろうな。
Not only Rena, either, but Shion too.
知らない。レナはね。あ、これ内緒だよ。言ったら絶好だよ。
Mion emphasized this as her expression clouded even further.
言わないよ。で、レナが何だってんだよ。
お社様のたたりに会ったことあるんだって。
え？
私は悪いけど被害妄想過剰な何かの思い込みじゃないかって思ってるんだけどね。でも本人はそう言ってるし、そう信じてる。茶化すとかなり怒る。レナは普段はちゃらけてるけど、怒るとかなり怖い。
分かってるよ。レナの前でも言うなってことだろ。サトシの話。
できればこの話題にも二度と触れるべきじゃないと思うね。レナのためにもサトコのためにもさ。
For everyone else's too. And if I must say, for her own sake too, Kei-chan. And with her silence, Mion made sure I knew that.
そうだな。分かったよ。
ありがとう。
Saying only that, she waved her hand and began walking away. I watched her go, a little dazed, and then started walking myself. Satoko's older brother, Satoshi, had he run away from home? Or had he been a victim of the curse and disappeared forever? Whichever the case, none of this was anything I should have asked about. The cooling air forced me into self-reflection. I wanted Satoko to smile, yet my curiosity easily defeated me, and I frivolously tried to step into the dark side of things in a joking way. I am shameful. I wanted today to be exactly like yesterday. I wanted tomorrow to be just as fun as today too. So why did I go and do something like that? We were having a blast at the baseball game yesterday. And today we had a blast at the big barbecue top party too. It was a lot of fun. But then I went and almost nullified all those fun times. I would have to be more careful starting tomorrow. I'll put all this unpleasant stuff behind me forever. Like hell, I'm gonna let my enjoyable life end because of how careless I was today. Not at all. Now, when it comes to Tomitake and Mio Takano, however... But the more I thought that I'd be more careful starting tomorrow, the more I couldn't get rid of the ominous thought that I already put an end to those enjoyable days with what I'd just done. Yeah, that's true. Like, normally speaking, we would put this stuff behind us forever, but that's not how it works in Higurashi. It has begun yet again. Hey, wait. Calm down, Keiichi Maibara. The Gears of Destiny are freaking gigantic, aren't they? What happened just now was trivial. It doesn't make any sense to think my life will be totally different starting tomorrow. Yeah, like, calm yourself a little bit there, Keiichi. It sounded as if you were going all meta on us, which it really shouldn't be the case. You don't know what would happen next. But even though I understood it logically, the mist in my heart wasn't going to fade until tomorrow turned out to be as fun as today.
変だぞ俺。さっきのみんなとのやりとり、ちょっと気にしすぎだぜ。
I wish tomorrow would come already. Unless this is going to be one of those situations where Keiichi is slowly but surely going to be starting to feel a little bit different, in the sense that he's going to slowly be more aware of quote-unquote other timelines, and he will start to think more about this stuff. Because, well, I think I mentioned this before, but I guess there could be like 3 ways where Higurashi is gonna lead us. Either each and every single chapter we're gonna have a story where Keiichi is not gonna be aware of anything from the other timelines, and he's gonna learn about things in similar fashion, except I guess it will depend on luck whether we're gonna be able to solve anything or not. That's one. 2 would be going all meta in Yumineko fashion, which probably the only example of a story that I can think of. Or 3, we would go all sci-fi-ish, where the main protagonist is gonna start to be aware of the other timelines and start to figure things out a lot more. Like, there's 3 options, so I am pretty curious. Would there be like a 4th option? Like, Keiichi's not even gonna be aware, he's gonna learn the same way, and we're always gonna die no matter what? Like, every single chapter, even chapter 8, is gonna end in everybody dying, and that's it? It would be quite an adventure if I were to go through something like that. Just no progress whatsoever. I wanted it to make me understand how absurd my insignificant doubts really were. The night was long. Alright. I guess so. I might as well eat myself a cookie here. We got some tips around here. Like 3 of these. Let's view the new tips right over here. I guess this is the end of the Satoko's Traps saga right over here. The Slacking Manager, copy of the preliminary autopsy. East, round 3. What's this? Copy of the preliminary autopsy? Is it talking about the dead body that we found at the beginning? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it kind of... Now I remember that we actually had somebody die, like, at the beginning of this chapter, and like, what was that about? Is that like something that would happen in the future? Or something that happened in the past? I wonder if... Yeah, I do have to wonder. Like, it was a woman. Like, it surely doesn't fit like any of the... Like, it surely doesn't fit like any of the descriptors for past victims. Like, it has to be a woman that still lives in the present day. Let me just eat this cookie right over here. You know what? You know what? I just got an idea. Let's see about changing dimensions right over here. Like, speaking of all this talks of possible metas and like timelines and such. Let me see. Was it like this? Nah, wait, hold on. I cannot do that. Like I have a different keyboard right over here. Was it a change, enable, disable, change art styles? Yeah, let's see. Let's change art styles right over here. The remake. Look at our man EDA right over here. Let me see Shion as well.
女の子に重いものを運ばせようって言うんですか？そんなだからいい年になっても相手が見つからないんですよ、監督は。
That is a lovely outfit. Actually, wait, hold on a second. A different outfit. The original Ryukishi style. Like, yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, okay. So, I guess Shion's original outfit was like this, which is consistent with the manga gamer sprite. It's just that in this one, the console version, she wears something different. I wonder why. I wonder why the creative choice for Shion's dress here. Either way, I think I'm gonna go with this one. And we're gonna keep the backgrounds right over here. This is just lovely.
ですね。そういうのを曰くこう言います。余計なお世話です。
He was loading the station wagon with heaps of equipment we'd used for Torei's barbecue meeting. All the fathers and sons who had helped were starting to get on their way.
さて、シオンさんはどうしますか？
Okay, so this is after the barbecue.
あなた、ここまでは何で来ました？自転車でしたら、積んで送って差し上げますよ。
バイクだからいいです。お心遣いだけで嬉しいってことにしときます。
今日は来てくれて嬉しかったですよ。やはりマネージャーさんがいないと、パッとしませんからね。
You know, I cannot believe that I'm actually thinking this a little bit right over here. Especially since we're talking about Ryukishi's style right over here. Maybe it's because of the dress that Shion has. Like, originally speaking, but she's kind of hot. She's even hotter in this. Holy mother of God.
まだ私マネージャーなんですか？1年も丸々サボってんだから、こんな無能マネージャー、いい加減に解雇するべきだと思いますよ。
Like, I'm seriously having the hots for Ryukishi style Shion right over here.
シオンさんが辞めたいって自分で言えたらいつでも解雇してあげますよ。
ずるいな。早く解放してくださいよね。試合があるたびに来ないかと電話がかかってくるの、もううざくてかなわないんですから。
シオンちゃんももっともっと素直になれば、とってもキュートで可愛い女の子なのに。お父さんは悲しいですよ。一体どこでねじ曲がってこんなにひねくれてしまったんだか。ああ、お父さんの愛の抱擁で力強く包み込めば目が覚めますか？でしたら遠慮なく。ほーら。
Coach was fooling around with all his might. But Shion just smiled into the distance without responding. Okay, so does this mean that Irie has the hots for Shion? Okay, I do have to ask, how old is Irie at this point?
何も変わってない。監督が変な人で、みんなのにぎわいも何も変わってないのに。
サトシ君だけいないとおっしゃりたいのですか？帰ってきますよ、きっと。待っている人がいるんですから。
勝手なこと言っててください。
彼も罪作りな人ですよね。こんな可愛い彼女を置き去りにして、どこへ行ってしまったんだか。
Oh.
彼女？ チェ、もう、いつまで笑ってるんですか？監督！
Coach bent over and laughed heartily for a little while.
では、またお会いしましょうね。試合にも、たまには応援に来てくださいよ。
まあ、気が向いたら。私、マネージャーなんか全然、もうやる気ないんですから。
いいんですよ。あなたが嫌ならいつでもクビにしてあげますよ。嫌がるのを無理やりってのは私の性分ではありませんからね。
チェ。ああ、はいはい。すみませんね、すみませんね。私の負けです。気が向いたらまた応援に来ますので、今日は堪忍してください。
おっと、もうこんな時間。機材返す約束の時間が。先方をもうだいぶ待たせてますね。では今日はこの辺で。また次の試合でお会いしましょう。
I will. See ya, idiot. Thank you for that little drop right over there when it comes to Shion and Satoshi. Yeah, I guess so. Kind of makes me think back on the thoughts that I had in chapter 2. Okay. It could actually have like a legit reasoning for Shion's actions in chapter 2.
ええ、気が向いたらね。さよなら、監督。
Alright. Copy of the preliminary autopsy. The autopsy suggests the victim was killed in the following manner. Entire body bound in restraints. Traces left behind from when the body seemed to have been bound indicate the usage of a specific restraining table, rather than a rope or another common method. Oh. Are we talking about the table? Well, when Keiichi was tied to that table, like at the end of chapter 2 as well? Kinda makes me think. Finger joints on either hand appear to have been bound especially tightly. Finger joints? Highly likely that the table was either specially made or homemade given this information. Both ears and nose severed with a sharp blade. Traces of the restraint and other things seem to suggest there was at least one more other than the one who severed these body parts, holding down the victim's head. Possible that multiple blades were used, with one of them most likely being scissors or shears. 5 nails penetrated fingers on each hand. 1 long nail stuck in each joint of each finger on each hand, for a total of 30. Ooh. Okay, so 1 long nail stuck in each joint of each finger. Okay, so that's 3 on each finger. My god. The deceased fingers were nailed to wooden planks 20 square centimeters large. Extremely likely these planks were part of the restraining table. In addition, it is likely that the table was originally designed for just such a purpose. Abdomen incised, intestines removed. The incision in the abdomen is likely to have been a technique grounded in medical methodology using a sharp blade. Estimated that there was still no threat to the victim's life at this stage. After this, the organs inside the incision were dismantled and removed. The victim likely died as a result of this process. Body disposed. After fastening a dumbbell to the victim's neck using a commercial pet collar, the victim was likely abandoned in the OG River's fur drain. Judging by the dumbbell's weight, it's highly possible that they would have needed at least 3 grown men to have disposed of the body. To Oishi-san. Oh. Here's a copy of the preliminary autopsy of the slaughtered corpse in the OG River. Chief Shigeharu sees this as having a possible relation to the S group. S group? What are your thoughts, Oishi-san? Ooh. Name drop? S group? Does it have something to do with my thoughts from the investigation video? About the government? I wonder. East Round 3. What is this about?
出ましたね、ロン。
Here he is. The man, the living legend himself.
チュンドラさん、マンガンです。
なんすかそれ。なんでドラが3つも入んすか。
バカモンが。大石がテンパイしとんの分かっててカンドラ増やしよってからに。自業自得じゃぞ。
チュンさらしたらドラを上乗せするぐらいしかやることないじゃないですか。厄介さらしたらドラそばは切っちゃダメですよ。
Oishi grinned meaningfully as his buddies, swearing, began breaking down the walls and reforming them.
時に大石さん、どうですか？割れましたか？
なんじゃい。ああ、例のドブ川惨殺死体の話かの。何か手がかりはあったのか？
ねえ、まあ。裏はそっちで取ってくださいよ。
さすが。何者です、仏。
間宮里奈、本名は律子。
Ritsuko. Rina Mamiya.
岸骨フラワーロードにあるブルーマーメイドってキャバクラに勤めてたみたいっす。
Blue Mermaid. A hostess bar on Shishibone Floor Road. Okay, a little bit off topic right over here, but the image that popped into my mind was like a maid that I knew from the Somnium Files. That she was working at a mermaid-themed restaurant / cafe and such. So it reminded me of that.
やれやれ。そらやばい店じゃな。確か、園崎家の若頭の店じゃろ。
園崎？あった。S 号関連か。
Oh, so... I guess so. S stands for Sonozaki. S group, though.
難航しそうな山だな。
噂じゃあ仏さん、園崎の上納金に手をつけちゃったらしいっす。話じゃかなりシャレにならない規模らしいっす。
女が上納金に手を出したか。裏に男がいそうじゃのう。女の単独犯なんてそうそうないぞい。
どうせもう死んでますよ。死体がまだ出ないだけで。
そうそう、おいさん。女の同居人、生きてるみたいですよ。
生きてる？じゃあこれから死ぬんでしょうね。害虫が害虫を駆除してくれるんだから、本当に素敵な自浄機能だと思いますよ。
その紐なんですがね。北条鉄平なんですよ。
Oh...
北条？誰だい？
Hojo.
北条鉄平。去年ひなみ沢で起こった主婦撲殺事件の仏のご主人ですよ。
The husband of the housewife who was beaten to death last year. Yeah, now that you mention it. So, like, so far we've taken into account, like, Satoko's parents. We have Satoshi, we have Satoko. We have Satoko's aunt, from what I know, was the one that took care of Satoko until last year when she died and Satoshi disappeared. But we didn't really know who was the husband of that aunt.
事件の後姿を消したって聞いてましたけど。
He disappeared after the incident. Yeah. I guess a part of me was thinking, like, if that aunt had, like, a husband, maybe they divorced. Like, we haven't heard a single peep about a person like that. Now we know. her man. So, okay, apparently this Teppei Hojo was now with somebody else. With the victim right over here. Hmm.
そうか。その女のところに転がり込んでたか。
ますますに、園崎の匂いがプンプンだの。
彼氏は今どこに？
女のアパートに同居してたんすがね。女が自分を捨てたと思ったみたいで、店やたまりのあちこちを探し回ってるらしいっす。
Saying that the Sonozakis are more suspicious. The Sonozakis and the Hojos, they were a bit enemies. So, yeah, they would have bad blood for the Hojos. And they would think that the Sonozaki would do some killings. That they would kill the Hojos, like, left and right. And I guess now they're thinking that the Sonozakis are... I guess they're thinking that the Sonozakis are incriminating Teppei. Like, maybe they're thinking that the Sonozakis are the ones who killed the lover of Teppei, making us think that Teppei is the one who killed their lover. Cause I think... I guess we shall think about this more a little bit later.
おはよう、ケイチ。あら、ゆうべは何時に寝たの？
Morning, Mom. I did not sleep well last night at all. My mother could tell from a single glance. I had the worst dreams. Nightmares, very ominous dreams, one after the other, again and again. I woke up after each one, but could never even remember a fraction of what they had been about. But it was like those dreams were predicting something unpleasant, and I woke up in a terrible mood. Hey now, every day has been calm and fun before today, right? Those days should continue on, unchanging. And yet, anxiety was the only emotion growing within me. Why was that? Nightmares reflect your own anxiety. They show an uneasy mind at which you wouldn't admit normally. Yesterday, I remember the ominous conversations about Satoshi I had with Shion, Neon, and Rena. Like, it really makes me think right over here, folks. Like, I cannot help it. Not when it comes to meta, no. I'm thinking about being aware of other timelines. Which, I guess you could also say that's meta, but I wouldn't really go that far to say that it's meta. Because when I say meta, I mean that they are aware of this whole thing in a more magical sense than some to Mineko. No, I'm talking a bit more sci-fi-ish. What was the theory called? Zero escape, quantum something. Like the multiple worlds theory, I think. No, wait. Was it the multiple worlds theory? Some of you guys may know what I'm trying to say over here. You guys are smart. You probably know what I'm trying to say over here. Like being aware of other timelines and sort of like sending your consciousness to other Keiichis and such. Like I'm trying to think over here, like whether it's because Keiichi has been hearing about this Oyashiro curse and deaths and such right now that Keiichi is being more anxious about, or Keiichi is starting to feel this anxiety from the other timelines and is manifesting through dreams and nightmares as of now. Like it's starting to grow right here. I wonder. Right. My mind felt like it was in a black fog, because we had talked about that. If I lived every day without causing a fuss, my reward would be ever more peaceful days. I understood that. So why did I cause such discord? But now that I thought about it calmly, a simple verb of slip on my part couldn't possibly change the world. Yeah. As long as I'm sorry for doing it, and never talk about it again, there's nothing that anyone can blame me for, right? Besides, how would my fate possibly change just because I talked about that? Nothing was going to change. Yeah. Nothing would change. Nothing would change. Nothing. Nada.
気持ち悪い笑い。寝ぼけてるなら顔を洗ってらっしゃい。
I finally cheered up enough to smile. And Mom slapped me right back down. Now I was irritated again. What the fuck? There wasn't much time left before I had to meet up with Rena. I frantically started to get ready to go to school.
行ってらっしゃい。車に気をつけるのよ。
We will, Mom. Goodbye.
気をつけるほど車もいないよ。
You never know, Keiichi.
Hinamizawaには。
I dashed out the front door. The morning air was far more refreshing than the water on my face. That's right, Keiichi-maiba. If you're sorry enough about it and reflect upon your mistakes, that's enough. Now let's pull yourself together and get to school. And return to fun, enjoyable days. Where everyone laughs, plays, and just has a good time. I'll be nice to Satoko as an apology too. Yeah. Wasn't I supposed to be her Nini until Satoshi got back?
Ohayo!
Okay. That took me by surprise a little bit right over there. I forgot that I changed to the other dimension right here. I was so focused on that preliminary autopsy and what the Oishi and Kumagai were talking about. I forgot that I had this, like this. Rena too looked nothing like she had yesterday when she said that weird stuff. Yeah, she looks completely different right now. Don't you think so, Keiichi? If I could only forget, then I could still act like nothing had happened. So I called out to her with all the energy I could muster.
Oh! Ohayo, Rena!
Oh! What's up, you adorable little bee?
相変わらず早いな。おはよう。おはようございます。
There was a little time before the same old morning homeroom began. But Satoko and Rika-chan were unusually absent. Maybe they went to play somewhere? No. Like, not again. Like, realistically speaking, when it comes to a story, they shouldn't be disappearing this early. Emotionally speaking, I don't want them to disappear. Like, at all. However, looking over and seeing none of their things, so it looked like they really hadn't come to school. Like, what is happening this time? Like, why would they be absent today?
あの二人が遅刻なんて珍しいね。
Rena seemed to be enjoying herself, thinking about what their excuse for being late would be. Mion said something nonsensical as well, imagining how funny the reason they were late must have been. I had only come to school to see their energetic faces, since I figured it would get rid of these feelings I have. But the load on my chest remained where it was. It wasn't very pleasant at all.
おはようございます、皆さん。
Hello there.
委員長、号令。
You're just as cute as ever, even in this dimension.
起立。
Our teacher finally arrived. Keire! Sorry. Having like flashbacks from Move Loove.